Good evening. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of East Georgia State College, welcome to our spring 2017 commencement. This graduating class, 196 associate degree recipients, 4 bachelor's degree recipients, and 2 recipients of certificates of accomplishment in workforce readiness skills represent an amazing group of students. Please give all of these graduates, along with the faculty and staff whose hard work and dedication inspired all of these graduates, a warm round of applause. We are so proud of each and every one of you, and this ceremony is being recorded so that each of you will be able to share it with family and friends who are not able to join you this evening. Please remain standing as Mr. Gilbert Westbury, Minister of Music at First Baptist Church and music instructor for East Georgia State College, sings "God Bless America." Mr. Westbury will then deliver our invocation.
I'm going to do the verse part of it and invite you to join on the refrain. The words are in the back of the program on page 11, an Irving Berlin classic. Some of you probably know it well without having to even look at those words, but please join me when we get to the refrain part. It's not supposed to be entirely a solo. The storm clouds gather far across the sea. Let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night, the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with gold. God bless America, my own sweet home. God bless America, my own sweet home. And if you would join me. All-powerful and loving Creator, we ask that you would be present with us here this evening. You are the one who created this incredibly wonderful world in which we live. You are the one who gave us the power of intellect, capable of learning new skills, developing new insights, and enlarging our understanding of ourselves and others. You created this very day, May 5th. For many in our world, it's just another day. For some in our community, It's the start of Pine Tree Festival weekend. For those in this room, it's the long-awaited, much-anticipated day of graduation. It is a monumental day of excitement, pride, happiness, and celebration. It's both a day of ending, as their time at East Georgia State College concludes, and a day of beginning as they move on to the next chapter in their lives. We want to thank you for faculty members who have challenged them to gain knowledge, to broaden their horizons, and to think more critically. We want to thank you for family and friends who have contributed financially and have provided emotional support when the going got tough. We want to thank you for friends who shared in the learning process and provided social interaction. As the sun rises tomorrow morning and these now college graduates move on to new adventures, give them the focus and clarity they need to find their purpose in this increasingly chaotic and frequently unstable world. Regardless of their professional goals, let them know the satisfaction not merely of making money, but of truly living a full life, one that gives back to society in service and generosity. As they use their unique gifts wisely, may their dreams become reality in ways that make this earth a better place, a place where ignorance, hatred, and prejudice are replaced by wisdom, peace, and equality. And right now, Lord, may their hearts be filled with joy and gratitude as we celebrate their accomplishments. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Westbury. We hope that all of you have enjoyed the music this evening provided by Mr. Westbury and by our pianist, Susan Westbury. We're honored to have such musical talent in our community. Mr. and Mrs. Westbury, we deeply appreciate your contribution to our commencement ceremony. In addition, our student marshals and our student ushers are all listed on the last page of your program. Thank you to all of these amazing students for participating in this commencement and making today a memorable one for our graduates and their supporters. Please join me, everyone, in thanking Mr. and Mrs. Westbury and all of these students with a warm round of applause for what they're doing this evening. Please take note this evening of students that are wearing insignia in recognition of their special achievements. Green tassels adorn the mortar boards of our graduates receiving the Associate of Arts degree. Golden yellow tassels adorn the mortar boards of our graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science in Biology degree. Green, gold, and white tassels adorn the mortar boards of our graduates receiving the Certificate of Accomplishment in Work Readiness Skills through our Choice program. Gold cords signify our honor graduates. These are students who have earned a 3.5 cumulative GPA or higher. Cum laude graduates have earned a GPA of 3.5 or more. Magna cum laude graduates 3.8 or higher, and summa cum laude graduates 3.9 or higher. Medallions are worn by our G2 squared graduates. That's get to graduation in 2 years. These medallions signify the completion of the entire degree in that 2-year period. Gold and blue cords signify membership in Beta Iota Beta, the East Georgia State College chapter of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Navy cords signify graduates who are active or retired military. Thank you for your service. Black cords signify participation in the African American Male Initiative. Medallions worn by African American Male Initiative participants signify a GPA of 3.5 or higher. Our student ambassadors wear purple, green, and gold cords. Members of our Student Government Association wear red, white, and blue cords. The light green colored cords signify members of our Corel Scholars Program. Finally, service to community is part of who we are at East Georgia State College. The Service Seal of Distinction is awarded to those students who volunteered and acted as models for building a culture of service and by encouraging others to serve. Congratulations to all of you. Now, graduates, few days as special as this one will occur in your lifetime. As we begin this momentous ceremony, take a minute and take a deep breath and enjoy this moment. You've earned it. Quickly recall to yourself a really special moment at East Georgia State College where you learned something really special. Smile and commit that moment to memory. Someday that's going to come back and really help you. Also, there's lots of people here tonight who made it possible for you to be here. Silently commit to yourself right now to take the time out of your day to thank each one of them for the achievement that you celebrate tonight. Finally, tonight, dream in vivid colors about the exciting future that's awaiting you because of the hard work you've done over the last 2 years. Now, families and supporters of these amazing graduates, earning a college degree is really difficult. Currently, in the entire United States, only about a third of the adult population has achieved that status of a college degree. As you participate in tonight's ceremony, each one of you deserves to take great pride in what you did to make this evening possible for these students as they enter the Academy of Scholars. Now, at practice yesterday, the graduates and I talked about the fact that this ceremony is a special initiation into a worldwide Academy of Scholars. It is a solemn occasion, and these students have earned our respect, and it's worthy of decorum and order. Now, not to worry, there's going to be time to celebrate appropriately, but as you look tonight at all of these long-standing traditions of an academic commencement ceremony, I urge you to remember the special respect that these students have earned and deserve tonight by having a respectful commencement ceremony. Now, at this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you our alumni speaker, Lisa Fields Bertosh. Now, Lisa received her Associate of Arts degree from East Georgia College, that's what it was called at that time, in 1993. During her time at East Georgia College, she was the sophomore representative for the Student Government Association, and then she went on to earn her Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration from Georgia College and State University. She is currently pursuing her career at Yeomans and Associates Insurance Agency. She's a vice president, agency manager, and a producing property and casualty agent. Last year, she celebrated her 25-year anniversary with the agency. Lisa is joined tonight by her guests, Dr. Willie Gunn, EGSC President Emeritus. Thank you, Dr. Gunn, for being here. By Dr. Jean Bridges, a former East Georgia State College professor, and by her husband, Mr. Martin Bridges. She's also joined by Mr. Gene Fields, Ms. Patsy Fields, Ms. Jennifer Fields, Ms. Karen Curl, and Ms. Amy Fields. I would appreciate it if all of you would please stand and be recognized as Lisa comes to the podium. Please join me in welcoming these guests and our alumni speaker, Lisa Bertosh.
Thank you, Dr. Bomer, faculty and staff, distinguished guests, family and friends, and class of 2017 graduates. It's an honor to welcome you this evening on behalf of East Georgia State College's Alumni Association. Graduates, today you will become a part of a select group of alumni who have obtained a degree at this wonderful institution. East Georgia has played a huge role in my family. I graduated in '93. My sister Jennifer graduated in 2001, our mother Patsy in 2006, and my sister Karen in 2010. My nephew and his wife even began their education here before moving on to other institutions. So we all know full well the opportunities that East Georgia has and can provide to their students. When I started at what was then known as East Georgia College in the fall of 1991, I had no idea what impact this school and its faculty and staff would make in my life as I transitioned into becoming an adult. Some of those educators came with us tonight. First, I'd like to recognize Dr. Willie Gunn, former president of Emmanuel County Junior College and East Georgia College. His constant presence and enthusiasm for the student body was inspiring. He was very supportive of each and every student on campus and always made a point to personally come thank each of us that served on the Student Government Association. Thank you, Dr. Gunn, for your 21, you corrected that tonight, 21 years of leadership and service to this college and for your continued involvement. Next, I'd like to recognize Miss Annie Russell Callum, who taught my mother English. She couldn't be here tonight because she has shingles, so be in prayer for her. Because my mom was enrolled as a non-traditional student here, some classes were challenging at times. Miss Annie would always spend whatever time was required to prepare her for that next class. To this day, my mom talks about how Miss Annie's encouraging words like "you can do it" meant to her. It's a pretty amazing experience to witness your parent accept their college degree. We appreciate Miss Annie Callum's service to East Georgia. She was one of the original faculty members hired when this college began. Last but not least, I'd like to recognize the amazing Dr. Jean Bridges. The first of many classes taken under her direction was English 101, Introduction to Writing and Composition. I will never forget the very first college paper I was so proud of was returned full of red marks. That's never a good sign. Have you had that experience, graduates? After I overcame my initial shock and disappointment, I read over the comments and was told, "You can do so much better, and I'm going to help you through it." That moment of failure and discouragement led me to years of encouragement and confidence with her guidance. Her classes were so interesting yet tough, as it should be, but with her help, we came out completely prepared to tackle the next class. Dr. Bridges challenged and inspired each of her students to work hard, to always be open-minded, to be expressive in thoughts and opinions, and to always believe in themselves. Those deposits of wisdom and encouragement still remain with me today. Dr. Bridges, thank you for your many years of service here and for believing in me. I will treasure all of the many trips taken with you through the Vision series. You have truly been a blessing to this college, and Dr. Bridges was the first faculty member hired when Emmanuel County Junior College was founded. Some of you began your college journey by taking college classes while you were in high school, and I love that you started early. Some came to the college on scholarship, while others required hope or Pell. That means you worked really hard and you were determined to get here. Some of you are first-generation students, and so was I. Some of you came through transferring from another institution, while some of you began later in life as a non-traditional student. In whatever way your college journey began, we're thankful that you chose East Georgia State College. Take the opportunity to thank those who have encouraged you along the way. It's clearly evident by the turnout tonight that you are loved and have proud family and friends. Graduates, as alumni, you have the opportunity to remain connected and involved in East Georgia State College. We expect to see you at what will be your first alumni event at our second annual Alumni and Friends Gala in October. Remember that this will always be home for you. We wish you much success in your future endeavors. Congratulations, graduates, and welcome to the East Georgia State College's alumni family. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Our student speaker today, representing all of East Georgia State College's amazing students, is Miley Keaton. Miley is the 18-year-old daughter of Lynn and Pam Keaton of Swainsboro. She is the current Miss East Georgia State College and will soon be competing in the Miss Georgia pageant. Pursuing her college degree, dance, and preparing to compete in the Miss Georgia pageant keep her extremely busy. She's also an active member and youth leader of the Hahammock Baptist Church Youth Ministries. After graduating from East Georgia, Miley plans to attend Augusta University to pursue a degree in nursing. Later, she plans to go on and become a neonatal surgeon. She's joined today by her parents, Mrs. Pam Keaton and Mr. Lynn Keaton. Pam and Lynn, please stand and be recognized as Miley comes to the podium. Please join me in welcoming Miley Keaton.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Miley Keaton, your Miss East Georgia State College 2017. I would like to say congratulations to our graduating class. You should be very proud of yourselves tonight. To the families of those graduating, congratulations to you, and you should know that your support through this process has made an important impact on all of these students. I'm sure you're very proud of your graduate as they close this portion of their lives and move on into the next. For some of our graduates, this may be as far as they go in their academic pursuits, and others, this is just a checkpoint on their way to further goals on down the road. This is a very proud moment for everyone in this room, not only our graduates, but our parents, family members, friends, East Georgia State College faculty, staff, and students. To our graduates, life is a journey, a course that you set and determined by the choices you make each and every day. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." So as you step out and meet the world with your mind prepared and your skills tuned, I urge you to set your direction with a positive attitude and a strong spirit. Celebrate the days of success and always prepare for challenges that meet us each and every day. Remember, a dream is not just a dream. It's only a step foot away. But you must take the first step, and it begins with today. It's your time to dream bigger. A college diploma is a wonderful tool in this world, one that opens many opportunities for anyone who is determined enough to have one. But graduation is not an end goal in itself. Instead, it's part of a larger journey of our life. Life is a journey, and all of our accomplishments you achieve during it should be taken as starting points for further achievements. Your graduation should serve as such a launching point, projecting you to wherever your futures are meant to take you. Whether you land yourself a career, take up a trade, or continue your education at four-year institutions. As you go out into the world, remember it started here at East Georgia State College, a small place where big dreams can come true. On behalf of everyone here at East Georgia State College, congratulations, graduates. We can't wait to see all the places you'll go. Thank you for making this great college. Always remember, you can go anywhere from here. Good luck, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Miley. Now, this evening, East Georgia State College is privileged to have Dr. Timothy Goodman as our commencement speaker. Dr. Goodman will soon retire from East Georgia State College after a distinguished 44-year career in higher education. I believe this graduation week likely paints a very clear picture of the way Dr. Goodman has approached virtually every day of that 44-year career. I arrived at the office very early each day this week, and as usual, I couldn't get there before Dr. Goodman. Throughout the day, a steady flow of students, faculty, and staff passed by my office and proceeded to his office to present, I would presume, matters big and small, but all, I would also guess, needing immediate attention. He handled all of those matters, and he handled them well, and I would bet you he hasn't even been home yet this evening. I know he's going to be up before dawn tomorrow morning because he's going to the Pine Tree Festival at 5:30 to get ready for the Pine Tree Festival run. What's more, I suspect that he got up even earlier because he's an accomplished marathoner and he probably will go out for his run before he goes over to the Pine Tree Festival. Now, Dr. Goodman, that's probably been a typical day in your life over the last 44 years, and I just want you to know that all of us sincerely appreciate your work ethic, your deep knowledge of higher education, and particularly your passion for East Georgia State College and your service to your community. Thank you, Dr. Goodman. Dr. Goodman was born in Etowah, Tennessee, and he grew up in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. He graduated from a small school, Englewood High School, and then went on to Tennessee Wesleyan College to get a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. He went on from there to get a PhD in Chemistry from the University of Tennessee and began his academic career as a lecturer in chemistry at the University of Tennessee. Dr. Goodman tells me that at the time he began his career, he was not using a smartphone. He was, in fact, using a wooden slide rule. Now, Dr. Goodman was attracted to the mission of small two-year colleges. So he soon moved on to Bainbridge Junior College as an instructor in chemistry and physics. While at Bainbridge, he was promoted to assistant professor, and then afterwards, he also assumed the additional role of acting coordinator of student services. He went on to become the chair of the Division of Math and Sciences at Waycross Junior College and was there promoted to associate professor of chemistry. He soon became professor of chemistry and chair of the Division of Arts and Sciences of what had then become Waycross College. This whole journey ultimately led Dr. Goodman to where we all know he needed to be all along. He came to East Georgia College as Vice President for Academic Affairs, and he has been a fixture in that position and in this community since that time. Now, he's also been a leader in higher education in the southern part of the United States. Dr. Goodman has taken part, for example, in 27 accreditation teams for the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. Now, in addition to all of this work in higher education, Dr. Goodman's been a leader in this community. But he's the type of true servant leader that I think we should all emulate. He rolls up his sleeves, gets his hands dirty, and gets the work done. Dr. Goodman won't ask anyone to do something he's not willing to do himself. He's been extremely active in the Boy Scouts and the Kiwanis. In the Boy Scouts, he's held virtually every role from den leader to scoutmaster and won virtually every award the Boy Scouts of America has to offer. He's done the same thing in the national, state, and local Kiwanis organization. Dr. Goodman and his wife, Cheryl, have been married for almost 45 years. They have 3 children, Emily, Jennifer, and Jeremy, and 4 grandchildren, Luke, Logan, Elise, and Jack. And I know how proud those children and grandchildren are of Cheryl and Tim Goodman. Cheryl, please stand and be recognized as Dr. Goodman comes to the podium. And all of you, please join me in welcoming Dr. Timothy Goodman.
I have to lower it a little bit. Graduates, faculty, staff, and administration of East Georgia State College, special guests, and of course an audience full of friends and family of the graduates. It is my privilege to share a few words with you in the next 12 minutes. They say you need 15 minutes of fame. I think I can do it in 12. On the occasion of this spring 2017 graduation class. Now for a bit of a disclaimer, I am solely responsible for the content and delivery of this speech. Any resemblance to a real graduation speech is purely accidental. Graduates, I want to talk to you mainly. Dr. Bomer mentioned my retirement after 44 years in higher education. I was struck as he was saying that by the fact that I've been working longer than you people have been alive. Did you know that? And most of the people in the audience. That's a long time. No wonder I'm tired. It's been a great run. I don't think I could spend that 44 years any better than I've spent it. I think I started at Bainbridge. I worked at Waycross College and now at East Georgia. Those are the 3 smallest schools in the university system of Georgia. Loved every minute of it. I always want to work where everybody knows your name, sort of like Cheers on TV without the alcohol. This is where the rubber meets the road. And I really do appreciate my wife, Cheryl. She puts up with all this. They gave us 6 months when we got married. And they said she married beneath her station in life, which makes you feel real good sometimes. And the rest of my family, they've been with me all these and been supportive all these years. I appreciate the support of a great staff and a great faculty. They make me look good. I appreciate the presidents who are willing to let me work, who have given me this opportunity to do this. A few extra bucks would have been nice every once in a while, but I would have probably blown that anyway on something not significant. I have seen a rapid change in the last 44 years. When I did my PhD research in 1971, we use something called a photoelectron spectrometer. That did not exist at that time. We had to design and build our own instrument to do our research. I picked up an advertisement about 2 weeks ago for a handheld spectrometer that did what this machine that we built, which filled a whole room about the size of a classroom, did. That's the way things change. I remember my first computer I used for instruction was a phone modem. Who can forget the Apple IIe computer, the state-of-the-art desktop? Remember that? If you remember that, you're really old. And then my first state-of-the-art laptop was a 40 meg gateway, 40 meg. Every one of you that has a cell phone in your pocket has more computing power in your pocket than I ever had teaching class at that time. That's the way things are traveling. That's the way things are. Social media. Social media in education was the notes that were passed between students as you were trying to teach class. There was no Facebook, no Twitter, no Pinterest, no Flickr, no whatever happens to be coming along tomorrow afternoon, because that's the way it changes. They tell me the amount of information that is out there is tripling every day. Now that means those of you that are math majors, the exponential curve is not like that. The exponential curve is like that. That is really scary when you start doing the math. You're going to have to deal critically with those rapid changes, because some of that information is good information and some of the information is not so good. And you're going to have to learn to deal with that. And you've got to really be in a learning mode all the time. Your education never stops. I learned yesterday that Dr. Palumbo just does a slightly better job of calling names than I did. I learned in the Atlanta airport about a month ago that if you walk slowly and just kind of mosey through the terminal, they let you go through the short line. It's a security check. And remember, at the airport, the short line is the best line, right? And of course, you get labeled as old and senile and decrepit and the whole bit, but still, the short line is the short line. Just like you graduates, I was the first in my family to graduate, like some of you. First in my family to graduate from college. First to get a graduate degree. And this was among my parents and siblings and my aunts and my uncles and my cousins, and I got a plethora of those. And you and I blazed the trail in education. Now because we have started the process, there's an expectation now that your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will now consider college an option. That was not always the way it was. Some of you may stop with this graduation, but I hope you really kind of think about it and continue to get your bachelor's and master's and maybe even your PhD degree, because the landscape of employment is changing rapidly. And the more education you have, the better chance you have of getting a job, a good job. I run in the 10K called the 10K Peachtree Road Race on the July 4th in Hotlanta. Now, if you've been in Atlanta on the 4th of July, you know why they call it Hotlanta. And if you're running that race, just before mile marker 3, you start up what is lovingly called Cardiac Hill. And it goes 3/4 of a mile at a 25% grade. and you know it's coming, and when you reach the top, it's a relief. And you're finished with 5K. Now remember what I told you? It's a 10K race, right? And so about a half mile down the road, you hit a second hill. This hill is a mile long. Now the grade is only 10%, but 10% is that. And if you run a mile at a 10% grade, that's about as rough as it's rougher sometimes because you're tired, because you've already gone up the big hill. Y'all have made it up Cardiac Hill with your associate degree. But I want you to look at the next hill and make your education a 10K rather than a 5K. The newbies, the first time you run that, you don't know about that second hill, by the way. So that can be a kind of an interesting situation when you go up that second hill, because in Atlanta, both the humidity and the temperature are 95. And that's the reason it's kind of a rough situation. But you know, it's interesting, the top of that second hill is where the High Museum of Art is. So it's the high point. So I want you to think about going on further and work on your bachelor's degree, work on your master's degree. I love working with students like you. I am empathetic with you. I went to a very small high school in a very small town. I took every single course that high school offered. But in today's world, in Georgia, I would not have qualified to go to college because I would have been short. We only had 3 years of science, not 4. We only had 3 years of math, not 4. We didn't have foreign language unless you count English. And so when I went away to college, and being the first in my family, I really had no one to ask questions to. I really had no one to help. And first 2 years in college, I had to take German for 2 years. I was so proud of those 6 C's. I swear the professor used to call on me for comic relief. And if you ever heard German spoken by somebody with an East Tennessee accent, you know what I mean. I decided to get help where I needed it. And I was not afraid to go to the advisor. I was not afraid to go to the professor, the dean, anybody willing to help me. I was willing to ask them to help. And that's the reason I was successful. It was a financial challenge to go to college also. I had to work 2 jobs. Everybody thinks that's the reason I work long hours. But it's my father's fault. He told me that I had to get to work 2 hours before the smart people got there. And I actually believed it. I have a question for you. What's that? Some people call it a Post-it note, but I call it a sticky note, okay? I'm a sticky note type of person. My office is littered with sticky notes and little notes to myself to remember I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, because I have a very poor memory and a short attention span. So I need all the help I can get. I occasionally save these sticky notes, especially if there's something profound on the sticky note. And I stick it on the side of my bookcase. As I was thinking about, and of course, when you start getting ready to move out of your office, you start looking for things, you notice things. And I found 3 sticky notes that I'm going to use tonight. Now, we can call these the sticky notes to live by. The first one says, zip it, do it, get over it. Now, zip it, do it basically means to quit complaining and get to work. What the world needs is one more backseat driver. What the world needs is one more Monday morning quarterback, or somebody who just complains because there's nothing to complain about. And it's the tradition in a graduation speech that the speaker quotes from some world-renowned authority with words to live by. Now, I'm going to date myself with some of these, okay? I have chosen for my first quote the character Oddball in Kelly's Heroes. Oddball said to Moriarty, "Why don't you knock off those negative rays? Why don't you dig how beautiful it is? Why don't you say something righteous and hopeful for a change?" That's what I mean by zip it and then do it. When I was 16, my responsibilities increased significantly. That was the time you started taking on more things with the family. And I had to get up early because the livestock had to be fed. I had to get up early because I had to catch a bus to go to school, or I had to get to work. I used to complain about how life was treating me. Now, my dad always seemed to have some type of comment to make while I was complaining. You remember you have to get to work 2 hours before the smart people get there? That was one of those remarks he made while I was complaining. He also said, "Son, if life was fair, we'd be all 6 foot tall and good looking." And the one I remember, he said, "Son, I want you to go to college so you don't have to do this work for another 50 years and I don't have to listen to the complaining." Things get done when you recognize what needs to be done and just get it done. One of the things I hope you've learned at East Georgia is how to work in groups, because sometimes it takes more than one brain and more than one back to get things done. And you have to learn to get around the personalities thing. Focus on solutions, not on problems. We don't even call them problems anymore, right? We call them challenges or opportunities. Now, the get over it part is kind of obvious, and I want to quote from those world-renowned 20th century philosophers, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You have to do it 3 times. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need. That's very profound. It's on this sticky note. Accept that life has its ups and downs. Be in the present, and sometimes you just kind of have to go with the flow. It's okay to float sometimes. You don't always have to swim upstream. Now, this is my last sticky note. It says, "It is not the tie." Most of you know I have this thing for cartoon ties, right? I think some of you took part in the breaking of the tie, right? Okay. Some call it weird. Some call it eccentric. Some like it, some don't. Some people don't think it's appropriate for a person in my position. It has now become an expectation from students to the chancellor. They have something to say to me, something to talk about. When I don't wear one of these ties, people wonder what's wrong. I wore one of my cartoon ties to the interview I had at East Georgia. And Dr. Ashcroft hired me anyway. So it is not the tie. He hired me because he knew I could do it, I could do the job, and not for what was hanging around my neck. You really don't have to get to work 2 hours early, but be happy in who you are and do your best with what you have. Thank you very much for listening to the rambling. Good luck with all you do. Make East Georgia proud of you. And by the way, the winning tie was supposed to. Thank you very much.
Dr. Goodman, you need to stay up here for a minute. Dr. Goodman, this is not in the program, and actually the certificate's not even straight in the frame, but it is my honor at this time to confer upon Timothy D. Goodman the title of Vice President Emeritus for Academic Affairs for East Georgia State College. Congratulations, Dr. Goodman. I was just negotiating with Dr. Goodman whether he'd extend his contract, but we didn't conclude the negotiations. In a moment, we are going to award the diplomas. It's what we have all gathered here today to witness. It's your son, your daughter, your spouse, your parent, your relative, your friend, walking across the stage with diploma in hand. It is an East Georgia State College tradition to call out each graduate's name individually and to give them the well-deserved opportunity that they've earned to walk across the stage and receive their diploma and to receive our respect. It's a joyous occasion. But as we talked about earlier, these students have earned our respect, and it's an occasion that deserves our demonstration of our respect for these students. So, on behalf of our amazing students, I ask you to join me in giving each one of them their moment in the sun. Now, not to worry. Students and I have talked about this, and they've promised me they're not going to leave me standing here alone, and they're going to join me at an appropriate time in raising the roof in this gymnasium. But until we get to that point, let's assure that each one of these students gets their moment in the sun and our respect. Dr. Goodman, would you again join me at the podium?
Will the candidates for the degree of Associate in Arts please rise? President Bomer, these candidates have completed all the coursework required for their degree and have been approved by the faculty. It is my distinct pleasure to present them to you for the conferring of their degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I confer upon you the associate degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Please come forward and receive your diplomas.
LaQuasia Chanel Aldridge. Kaylin Brooke Amerson. Jada Miari Baker. Bailey Danielle Baltimore. Jacqueline Bass Nicoli. Selena Sikander Khan Pathan. Dayton Lee Beasley. Chiara Benby, cum laude. Brandon Devontae Boatwright, Service Seal of Distinction. Stephanie Diane Bourbeau. Charlotte Alexandria Bowen. Joseph Brannon Braddock, summa cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction recipient. Hunter Andrew Bragg. Antonio Maurice Brantley. Brittany Nicole Brown. Kinsey Andrew Burgess. Casita Alexandria Bird, magna cum laude. Joseph Edwin Kennedy. Bracy Maria Cato. Kaylee Nicole Kavanaugh. Jordan Mishak Chance. Denise Darcel Coleman. Kaylee Toy Coleman, magna cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction recipient. Brianna Nicole Cohn, cum laude. Margaret Louise Cohn, cum laude. Amber Simone Conley. Taylor Lindsay Culp, cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction. Lakin Michelle Deloach. Olivia Nicole Deloach. Shaylis Savannah Del Plesh. Jessica Dawn Dixon, Service Seal of Distinction recipient. Royce Gregory Donahue, cum laude. Kyle Mackenzie Elrod. Jordan Andrew Finch. Michaela Gray Flowers. Michael Dominique Francois, Service Seal of Distinction. Brandy Lyric Franklin. Nanisha Nancy Gant. Sissy Michelle Gatch. Anna Renee Godby. Joanna Elizabeth Griffin. Tristan McLean Griffin. Elizabeth Hannah Gross, cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction. Brianna Monet Hackett. Kiera Nicole Hall. Skylar A. Hall. Rebecca Lynn Hance. Miranda Lynn Hand. Samuel Evan Hand, cum laude. Kayla Morgan Hewitt. Nathan A. Hitchcock. Darius James Holbrook. Brittany Leanne Holton. Magnolia Loving Howard. Otavius Clarence Hewley. Brianna Chantel Hurst, Service Seal of Distinction. Shayla A. Jackson, magna cum laude. Giselle Ashley Jackson, cum laude. Hannah Rebecca Jenkins, Service Seal of Distinction. Tyler Marie Johns. Andrika Deshay Johnson. Megan Johnson. Congratulations. Grayson Corley Johnson. Kenshayla Yarnell Johnson. Teresa Carolyn Johnson. Delvin D. Jones. Kishana Ruby Jones, Service Seal of Distinction. Shunshure Shania Kent. Quion Jamal Knight. Madison Samantha Lawson, cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction. Samantha Caitlin Meadows, cum laude. Brianna Fantasia Milton. Brianna Renee Mincy. Ethel Monique Davis Moore. Kirsten Julia Morris, cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction. Heather Willis Myers. Jaquania Janae Perry. Kenie Charisse Barr. Jasmine Danielle Redding. Laura Ashley Redmond. Jania Maisha Reed. Shannon Shagru Renteria. Alexandra Rios, cum laude, Service Seal of Distinction. Shakina Annette Roach. Markel Tyrone Robinson. Celeste Rodriguez Tehran, Service Seal of Distinction. Corey Ann Elizabeth Rogers. Rebecca Beasley Royal. Ariel Marie Ryans. Aileen Panita Sanchez. Joseph Michael Santoro. Emily Marie Shaw, magna cum laude. Alexis Mayana Smith. Joshua Ahmad Smith. Wallace Eugene Smith, Jr. Kaylin Nicole Smoot. Brandon Alexander Snyder. Ashana Brittany Steele. Nisi M. Suggs, magna cum laude. Dylan Grant Toole. Ambria Nicole Williams. Kiani Shane Williams, Service Seal of Distinction. Priscilla Ann Williams. Michael Charmaine Willis, Jr. Daisha Simone Marie Withers. Congratulations, guys. Ashley Clark Woods, summa cum laude. Jacqueline Yeppy, cum laude. Caleb Stone Yeomans. John Herbert Young III, summa cum laude.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor in Science please rise? President Bomer, these candidates have completed all the coursework required for their degree and have been approved by the faculty. It is my distinct pleasure to present them to you for the conferring of their degree.
Our first Bachelor of Science degree was awarded in the fall of 2014. The 4 recipients of this degree today represent the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th recipients of this degree at East Georgia State College. We're proud of you and congratulations. By the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I confer upon you the bachelor's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Please come forward and receive your degrees.
Rashunda Lene Bell. Colby Vance Calhoun. Derek Ryan Thompson. Caitlin Elise Warren.
Will the candidates for the Certificate of Accomplishment in Work Readiness Skills please rise? President Bomer, these candidates have completed all the coursework required for their certificate and have been approved by the faculty. It is my distinct pleasure to present them to you for the conferring of their certificate.
By the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I confer upon you a certificate of accomplishment with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Please come forward and receive your certificates.
Deja Marie Mariah Kelly. Service Seal of Distinction. Benjamin Henry Scott. Service Seal of Distinction.
At this time, we would like to take a few moments to honor the memory of a young man who is no longer with us. Gary Wesley Bragg was an East Georgia State College student and a staff member at our Statesboro campus. In the past 2 years, Wesley was employed by the Georgia Forestry Commission as a forest ranger and wildland firefighter. But he was most well known for his musical talent, which included vocalist, songwriter, guitarist, and harmonica player. His love and his passion for all things music, and his love and his passion for East Georgia State College and his East Georgia State College family brought him and those around him such joy. We will all remember that, and we appreciate him for it. Wesley's parents, Angela and Wesley Bragg, his brother Dylan, and Jessica Williamson, a valued member of our East Georgia State College Statesboro staff, are here today to honor Wesley along with the rest of us. I would like to ask Dylan Bragg, Wesley's brother, to come to the stage to accept the Associate of Arts degree on behalf of his brother. Will all of our graduates please rise, and Dylan, would you remain standing on behalf of your brother? It's a long-standing tradition that after receiving a post-secondary degree, the cap tassel is shifted from the right to the left side of the cap. It signifies to all the completion of the degree. Graduates, please move your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, I present to you the spring 2017 graduating class of East Georgia State College. Graduates, turn up! Graduates, your family and friends who helped and supported you as you earned this degree have just extended their congratulations to you. It is fitting that you recognize them for the support they have given you. Let's give them a round of applause, graduates. Also, the remarkable faculty and staff who led you on the educational journey you have completed today have come today in their academic regalia to honor you. Let's give them a round of applause for the support they have given you. Following the singing of our alma mater and the recessional by faculty, staff, and students, I invite all of you to join us for a reception to honor all of our graduates. Immediately following this ceremony, the faculty and staff are going to form a corridor outside the entrance to this building. As the graduates exit through that corridor, please follow the graduates through the corridor and across the street to the Gene Anderson Morgan Student Center for the reception. Do all the good that you can, by all the means that you can, in all the places you can, at all the times that you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. John Wesley, congratulations, graduates. Now I would like to invite Mr. Westbury to come to the podium to lead us in the singing of the East Georgia State College alma mater. The words are on the back of your program.
If you join these newest East Georgia State College alums as we sing the alma mater, would you stand with us, please?